Hey, what's up? Welcome. Welcome, everybody. Looks like we have two people that are watching. Okay. Hey, what's up, man? How you doing? Six. How you go? How's it going? Let's see. Hope all is well, sir. I'm doing well, thank you. Today is for me, it's the 28th of June. I'm doing a live stream here. 28th of June. Okay, I'm just waiting for 10 people to be on, so we can start. In the meantime, guys, please, any question that you have about metaphysics, about the occult, magic, just post them here. I'm gonna I'm gonna talk about the infinite initiation system today, which is the initiatory system that you're going to learn in the new order of the Grail of the Serpent. Um, this is a rebirth of an order that has already existed. However, the infinite initiation system is something that I have been working on for some years now, and it is now ready to be taught to different people. Now, like I said, I'm going to start talking about that as soon as we reach 10 viewers. And in the meantime, you can, of course, ask all your questions about magic, about witchcraft, and uh, and of course, anything connected to spirits, to maybe energetic problems that you have in your life, and and other things. Okay, so all right, just taking notes here. Okay, so see, to me, it has always been one of the bigger problems. Uh, One of the things that have annoyed me a little bit with the occult for a very long time is that the mystification, which is part of the charm, which is part of the attraction that people feel towards the occult, has led to various problems. Um, one of the biggest problems is that charlatans, people with zero actual power, can teach or pretend to be teachers, which is a big problem, you see. So I do believe that one of the most important things, ethically speaking, as well as you know, considering the success of this whole thing, um, of our ascent, is empowering the student and really giving the student um, real abilities and the ability to discern between what is right and what is wrong. You see, this is how you can actually figure out if a teacher is good or bad. The teacher should make you more able, and should make you more capable of thinking for yourself. Does that make sense? Please tell me in the chat if you agree with that statement. A good teacher should actually increase your ability to figure out things for yourself. Am I right? So in a sense, it's this old saying of teaching a man to fish instead of giving him fish, right? The same applies um, to the world of the occult, of magic, and so on and so forth. You see, um, it is time that magic becomes demystified and the occult becomes demystified, because it does not lose its power. You see, it does not lose its power if it is well understood. In fact, it becomes a more powerful tool in your hands instead of something that could blow you that you could blow yourself up with. It becomes really under your control, which is a good thing. If something is under your control, it means that you can really use it. You can make use of it for the improvement of your own conditions as well as the conditions of everybody else. You see? And in that context, we need to understand how to define conditions. What are conditions? What are the different conditions that can exist in your magical practice? How do you know what conditions your magic is in? You know? That's another problem with mystical orders, many mystical orders out there. And in my opinion, the only rank that you should have is earned by your abilities. The more abilities you have, the better you master your craft, the higher you should be in terms of a rank. So time in the organization is not necessarily the most important thing. Now, of course, if it is a well-run organization, your service to the growth and the expansion of the organization, which is in your best survival interest, helping the organization that you're a member of grow is in your best interest, of course, because it's part of it's an extension of you in a sense. And as you help that organization expand and grow, you will keep surviving and thriving. This is very important, you see. So yes, that is definitely part of the laurels, so to speak, or the respect that you earn in a group, in an order. Um, but it is only one part of the equation. The other part of the equation is absolutely ability. And as you will find at one point, is that those two are interlinked, you see. A good organization is an energy field that you become part of, a good mystical initiation order. An initiatic order is an is a field of consciousness that you become part of, and as you become part of it, and you make an effort to expand its influence, to help it grow, uh, it will have similar effects on you. So your growth and the growth of the organization are intertwined, and with that, your understanding and mastery of the craft also increase. You see, it is a lie that um, growth of others or success of others is to the detriment of yourself. In fact, the more you can grow an organization, the more you can help others grow, the more you will grow, because at a very subtle level, everything is connected to you. So if you help others, you will grow, you will be helped. This is something that is often misunderstood. We're no longer in the materialistic or in the material age. We live in the age of spirit. We live in the age of the mind. We live in the age of transcendent. It's essentially the air element that is ruling the qualities of this age that we have moved into, that we're now in. And in the physical universe, as you share things, as you share things, they become smaller, meaning you will lose something as you give something away. It's not a bad thing to give physical stuff away, but you got to be aware that this physical thing that you had will shrink as you give parts of it away. I think that makes sense, right? Logical. Um, in the mental world, on the spiritual planes, on the energetic levels, this is not true. This law does not apply. I tell you what applies to those energetic worlds. The more you empower people, the more powerful you become. The more you help people grow, the more you enlighten people, the more enlightened you'll become. There is no scarcity in the realm of mind, if that makes sense. Mind, energy, spirit is all kind of like, I'm lumping that into the same category. You see, so one of the fastest ways to grow spiritually is to help other people grow spiritually as well. And when I say spiritually, this is not the type of spirituality in which we remove ourselves from the physical world and reject everything physical or all physical pleasures. That's not what I'm saying. We're kind of like urban mystics, you know, urban mystics and urban magicians, urban occultists. Call it what it is, whatever you want. Um, but what that actually is supposed to say is that, or what it is supposed to mean is that we exist in the modern world. We're in the midst of all the worldly, you know, technological progress, but at the same time, we're striving for enlightenment. So, in this context, I'm going to present to you now, since we have 13 people watching live, I'm going to present to you now a rough outline of the infinite initiation system and the structure of the new Order of the Grail of the Serpent. Good. So, we live in a beautiful time in which we really have the ability, and those who are willing to join me in this on this quest will uh, we will do this together. We really have the ability to create something that could be considered a new species, or at least a more advanced uh, group of meta-humans, you could say. All right. So I'm literally talking about things that you would usually consider be part of a movie. You know, I'm literally talking about superpowers, so to speak, right? And I know this is um, kind of hard to. I'm not asking for belief. What I teach, you don't have to believe at all, really. I never asked any one of my students to believe anything that I say. I gave them information. I told them to apply that information, and the application of the information usually shows them that what I'm saying is right, if it is not just pure logic. By the way, do you guys know how to know if something is true or not? How do you know if something is true or not? See, truth consists of four factors that have to be fully understood, which is like the matter of the thing, which is the matter, meaning the or who was involved, what was going on, you know. Could be a situation that, let's talk about the purchase of a car. Okay, the purchase of a car. If you want to know the truth about this incident, you have to know what has been bought and who bought it and who sold it. That is essentially the matter component. Then you have an energy component. What is energy? Energy is the movement of particles. So in this case, um, energy was exchanged in the form of money, and the vehicle was removed. Okay, after the exchange. So now you had the movement of money in that direction and the movement of a car in that direction. So they changed owners, they changed hands, you could say. Now you have the energy component. And then you have the time component, which is when that happened, and space, which is essentially um, where it took place. So if you want to know the full truth of the purchase of a car, it would be something like in Kansas City, Missouri, in this specific part of town, a Mercedes Benz was bought by this dealership for this amount of money at 3 p.m. You see, now you have a truth. This is a truth. This is the definition of a truth. Now, when something is true, it is very light. There's no mass in it. It's not dense. It's very, it's light. It's light. It's high frequency. Something is true. It's clear. It's cleared up. Everything's cleared up, you see? It's light. It's high frequency. So you have physical senses, meaning you can see things, you can feel things with your hands, you can also hear things, you can taste things, you can smell things, but you have other senses as well. You know, I mean, the spectrum of electromagnetic light, meaning the light that the spectrum of visible light, okay, which is part of the electromagnetic spectrum, is 0.001% or something like that. So it's 1/10,000th. 1/10,000th of the electromagnetic energy out there, of the electromagnetic spectrum, is what we can see with the physical eyes. So we have senses that can pick up that tiny part of the spectrum, but we have other senses as well. Okay, we have other senses that can sense other parts, and we have senses within us that can feel truth. They can feel if something is true. How does that feel if you feel truth? Now you get good indicators. Your emotions get better if you realize a truth. If you are encountering a truth, you will feel better. It will also feel as if the tension decreases and you feel more space around you. You could also feel, a lot of people feel goosebumps. Okay, they can feel like a static energy. It's like as if they're feeling like goosebumps. You know, they feel the truth. You see. So this is essentially what you could call intuition. Okay. Intuition is not necessarily something vague. You know, I recently reposted something that I had shared on my Facebook wall 6 years ago or so, which was no, sorry, it wasn't 6 years ago. I think it was in 2000, and if I'm not mistaken, it was 2021. So it was like 3 years ago. I reposted it recently, where I said in 2021, I said that people should please stop using intuition and emotions interchangeably, because they're not the same thing, you know. So part of your intuition is this sense for truth, just like most of you are feeling it right now as you're listening to me. Since I'm speaking truth, you are feeling it. You see, the space gets lighter. A lot of you are feeling goosebumps, or like a feeling of static. It's undeniable. It's like maybe the hair on your neck stands up. And please let me know in the comments if you agree, if that is actually what's happening right now with you. I'm discerning truth, or disseminating truth, and this truth is energy that you can detect. Please let me know in the comments if that is actually the case. So that was 13. So you have a sense for truth, and when you use this truth as a compass, for me, I would say it's like calm firmness, like serenity. Sure. Okay. So, so when you use this sense, this sixth sense or seventh sense, or whatever you wanna call it, um, you can really navigate extremely complicated subjects. Because here's another thing that you have to know, is that not all information is equal. Not all information is actually important. There are certain things that are more important than others. There are certain data points that are more important than others. They're more foundational. And you can also say that these truths are higher frequency, so they're more into the direction of truth. Okay, and as you use this sense that you have, it will guide you towards more and more of that, and it will help you to expand, to survive better, to grow and to expand in your development. Because there is really, in this universe, nothing stays the same. Things get better or they get worse. So if you're not getting better constantly, if you're not expanding, you're actually in contraction, which is a premature, which is an early stage of death. And you can die spiritually before you can die physically, you see, which happens to a lot of people. So the growth spiritually, mentally is more important, or it should be one of your main focuses. Okay, so so back to the infinite initiation system. So the infinite initiation system is the result of many years of research, many years of finding these truths. And it is a system that incorporates the most fundamental and most important truths that you will have to know in order to ascend beyond the levels that the most powerful occultists have not reached. And this is a clear pathway that they can move up on. All right, so I'm going to give you a really brief outline. So the infinite initiation system is essentially something that is being transmitted through me, but comes from highly evolved humans of the future. That's basically, I mean, if you're in a certain degrees, or if you have reached certain levels in this initiation system, more about those beings is of course going to be revealed to you. But for now, just know that these are highly evolved beings that have a vested interest in your spiritual evolution, because they're essentially our descendants. So in this initiatic order, which is the new grail of the serpent, I'm going to teach this infinite initiation system. So what is the structure of this order? See, the structure could be considered like a pyramid, okay? The pyramid. And the preparatory levels are 46 degrees, okay? So it's a pyramid, and at the bottom, this is where you begin, there are preparatory levels. And there are 46 degrees of those preparatory levels. Now, what are the preparatory levels? In for magic, and this is going beyond magic. Please understand that this is not a magical order. This is an order that will produce superhumans. Now, those are big words, I know, but it is the truth. So, infinite initiation system. I see why you changed your handle to at first infinite. It makes sense now. Yeah, exactly. Well observed. Great. Okay. So I like to use the example of a money printing machine. Okay. So when a lot of people talk about money, when they start learning about money, it's almost as if they want a money printing machine. Okay. A money printing machine. But what if you actually had a money printing machine? Okay. Have you ever looked at a money printing machine and what that actually entails? Now, first of all, a money printing machine is extremely heavy. Okay. So the foundation of the floor needs to be extremely strong. Otherwise, it will just fall through the floor. Number two, you need to maintain it. It needs maintenance. It needs staff. It needs security. It needs a lot of electricity. It needs a lot of things that you don't have, you see. So even if I gave you a money printing machine, you couldn't run it because you don't have the foundation. You don't have the foundations, you see. So it's essentially the same thing with a lot of magical work. It's the same thing with Absolutely the same thing with the infinity levels that are the last stage of the pyramid. But even for control at a distance, or controlling the invisible worlds, controlling the powers that are beyond the veil, so to speak, spirits, elemental forces, and all of that stuff. In order to control these powers, and by extension controlling events at a distance, that requires a foundation. Okay, that requires a foundation. And when I say foundation, what do I mean in concrete terms? The first thing is that your aura and your energy body need to be prepared. You see, any magical operation, any work on in the invisible, any control at a distance of spirits, events, and everything that you might want to do in the spirit world requires that you have the energy body that is capable of doing that, and the energies will work through you as well. You can't. There is no real separation between the energies that you use as well as you. There's like a constant exchange, and that requires a certain preparation of the energy body. You see, that requires that the body, the energy body, is prepared. And how do you do that? The first step is that all the energy blocks, or at least the overwhelming amount of energy blocks, need to be cleared out. Okay, energy blocks need to be cleared out. Then the life of the person has to be lifted up to a certain level. I'm talking about material conditions. So money needs to be mastered at those levels. And when I say mastered, it means that you have to be at a minimum financially free, or in the top 10% of income earners. That is crucial. That is important. Why is that important? Because, see, abundance is really the only way to survive, or the only sure way to survive, and your life is a system. So your spirituality will be affected by your material conditions, and vice versa. If you're stressing about money, if you're stressing about finances, you won't have the energy. See, all of your stresses, and I'm not even talking about the subconscious blocks that you have, because a lot of your energy is stuck in those subconscious blocks. You see, when imagine the energy of the person at 100%, and a fully developed being is extremely powerful, but every trauma sucks up a little bit of the energy that the person had, you see. So your subconscious is full of these energy vampires that we need to release. We need to release the energy, and that will be essentially the release of karma and the release of energy blocks. This will prepare your energy body. Parallel to that, you will be trained in the disciplines of essentially surviving. Okay, and when I say survival, I'm talking about thriving. So you need to master money. We're also gonna work on certain disciplines such as Neigong, which is energy accumulation, energy work. How do you really develop your chi to the highest levels? And mental training, of course, is going to be part of that as well. So all the foundations are going to be there. So in the first levels, this is the first levels of the infinite initiation system. And these levels, you've already mastered, or you are mastering, you're in the process of mastering all areas that lifelong occultists didn't even come close to, because the reason why they got into magic was to get people to get in love with and fall in love with them, to make more money, to become more successful, whatever. You're going to get the tools to become successful everywhere, in all realms of human endeavor, you could say. You're going to get the tools to master all of that without a doubt, and you will, if you follow what I teach you. You will be successful, you will be rich, you will have all the women in the world if you want. You probably don't want all the women in the world. What I'm talking about is essentially you're going to have a complete abundance of women of a quality that you could have never imagined. And that is also part of it, of course, mastery over relationships, because it needs to be there in order for you to be able to ascend. So those preparatory levels are going to already deliver and give you all that people study for decades but never get close, and you're going to get this all in the preparatory levels. But please understand that this infinity initiation system is a commitment. It's more than a commitment. It's a family. It's not a brotherhood because there are many women too. This is for everybody. This is also a it's more than that. It's more than a family. It's a new it's a nation. It's a new, people that are on a completely different path. Okay, so that's the path to superhuman abilities. So these 46 degrees are already going to turn you into the envy of most people. Somebody said, I want to join. Anyone who wants to join, please send Please send an email. Please send an email to the following address. Okay. Please send an email to the following address. Oh, somebody said fellowship. But I don't like, honestly, I don't know. I don't know if I like that word, Fellowship is more like, sounds a little sterile. This is like it's a nation, it's a culture, it's a new species. We're not part of this humanity anymore. We're beyond. We're meta, beyond humans. Okay, my friend, everybody, Jason and everybody else, I'm sending you an email address in the chat, okay? I'm posting an email address in the chat, and this is the email address to which you please send your interest on joining in the order, and then you're going to be sent more information, okay? Grail of the Serpent at protonmail.com. Send an email to this email address, and you'll be sent more information on what this is, because you still need more information before you can actually request to join, because I want you to make an informed decision. Okay, so good. So these are the 46 preparatory levels. It depends on your effort how fast you can go through those. Okay, but it is already going to turn you into the envy of all the occultists out there. Good. Then we're going to have an ethics office. What is an ethics office? See, an ethics office. First, you have to understand why ethics are important. See, a group has morals. All right. Morals, the etymology of morals is moris, which means customs. Every group has morals. Every nation, every group, every tribe has morals. And they have turned out, or that's basically the code of conduct that has turned out to be the best actions for survival for the group. And that has turned out to be that way over time. Now, ethics are something that you have individually, but there are correct ethics and there are incorrect ethics. So if you're part of this group, of this order of the Grail of the Serpent, the highest ethical standards will apply to you and to me as well, to everybody in the group. I will have to abide by the same ethical standards that you will have to abide by. Why? Because if you are part of this organization, we are part of the same body, just like different cells are part of the same body, just like different organs are part of the same body. So we depend on each other, we rely on each other. And how we conduct ourselves in our daily lives has an effect on all parts of ourselves. You see, we have every part of ourselves, every part of our lives, every area of our lives are interconnected. You see, and what we do in one area will affect other areas. So we have to have high standards because that's the only way to guarantee that things don't get worse. Like I said earlier, things in the universe never stay the same. They get either worse or they get better. And the only way to continuously get better and to not get worse is to have high standards, because the standard is the minimum that you accept. So a high ethical standard in terms of how you conduct yourself, how we interact with each other, how much we focus on the work, how much we commit to the growth of ourselves as well as the group, will determine the success of all of us, you see. So there's going to be an actual office, a part of the organization that is responsible for overseeing the ethics of everybody. And we are all required to report our actions to this office, such as, you know, are we actually practicing? Are we actually working on it all? Now, obviously, depending on what level you're in, the tasks are different as well as the requirements are different, right? But your ethics need to be extremely high and they will be checked. It's important. Our ego is not as important as the truth and high ethical standards in this organization. It's very crucial, very important. Good. Now, out of this organization itself, the administration will arise. Okay, so people in the organization are responsible for the maintenance and the growth and keeping the organization alive. Right? It's one organism. We're all part of this organism, and each and every one of us is responsible for the survival of the organization. That can only survive if we consistently, constantly grow personally, but also help the organization grow. Okay, so you will be highly, highly encouraged to bring other people into the order as well, and you will have, you will of course have instructions and training on how to do that in the right way. Okay. Right. And so after the preparatory levels, there are 16 degrees and levels that are called the Ascension levels. In the Ascension levels, you will learn the totality and master the totality of what is considered witchcraft, magic, the occult, the metaphysics out there. In 16 degrees, you will master magic. You'll reach the highest levels of initiation in that realm. And that is really all there is to say. The control of the invisible will be yours. And then, after that, there are the infinity levels. These are for now secret, because only people that have reached the 16th degree of the Ascension levels will be initiated into the infinity levels. But these people, the people at the infinity levels, will only study with me in person, face to face, regular meetings in which we study in person, face to face, because they will have to be taught methods of reality manipulation that will include, just think of what is the correct way to say it? These will be. I'm not ready to reveal, but just let's call it superpowers. Okay, let's call it superpowers. If you are interested in more, now obviously since you're not at this infinity level yet, I can't reveal to you fully what that is. However, It is what you would see in movies. It is what is probably the fascination of most people, why they get into magic. But this must first of all be done in person, and it must be done face to face. Why? Because certain frequencies can only be awoken in close proximity. Okay, so um, let's keep it at that. This organization is now opening its doors. So somebody said, "How?" Miri Jeb, what, how? Do you mean how to know more about this? Okay, so if to request more information about the order, okay, to request more information about this infinite initiation system, aka the new order of the Grail of the Serpent, send an email with a request for more information to the following email address. I'm posting it in the chat now. Okay, I'm posting the email address in the chat now. Grail of the Serpent at protonmail.com. Send an email requesting more information about this order and the infinite initiation system, and you will be sent further information. Good. So there's a lot more to say, and I'm sure I'm going to go live again. I can't tell you exactly when I'm going to go live again now. However, is this the path of the dragon? No, this is not the path of the dragon. No. No. Jason, this is this is an initiation system that has been taught to me by godlike humans of the future. Essentially, that's the best way I could put it. Okay, these are our descendants from many years. You could say millennia in the future. They don't even need bodies anymore, but they use them if they want them, and um, they have tasked me with the honor as well as the work to produce, create, initiate infinites. You know, but just request information through that email address that I sent you, and you will get more information and more detailed information. Okay, that will help you make up your mind. Okay, so just send an email to grailoftheserpent at protonmail.com, and just quick question: do we have to pay any money? Yes, you will have to. You will have to pay a very humble membership fee. Absolutely, that is part of it. But this is just part of the energy exchange. So yes, this is just part of the energy exchange. It's you know, I use this explanation many times before. I'm certainly not doing this to make money, but this is it's an energy exchange. It's an energy flow. When you take something from somewhere, you have to leave something there for it to get even. You know, this is how you make something your own. Oh, I don't even have 50 cents. My friend, this is exactly why you need this, because at the preparatory levels, the 46 preparatory degrees, the preparatory levels, you will learn essentially the mastery of life. You see, the reason why you don't have these 50 cents is because you don't know the knowledge that you will learn there. I guarantee you, being in this infinite initiation system will change your financial destiny. I guarantee you that. How? Because it's a science, man. It's a science that's just not understood. There's so many things that you don't know. Believe me. And I'm not saying that to put you down. I really don't. Because I'm just saying that because The conditions are a reflection of a person's knowledge. Real knowledge is what I'm trying to say, because knowledge is not knowledge. You know what I mean? There are PhDs that are broke, PhDs that can't pay their bills, and it's not all about money. But what I'm saying is, it's about survival. You know, Mir get a work, learn something from Frank with his free videos. There's a lot of it, especially the occult laws of money. I learned from those. Yes, Dr. Doom type shit. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Hmm. 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 All right. Okay. All right, guys. So, so please, if you have interest and if you want more information, send an email once again to grailoftheserpent@protonmail.com. And it's my first time seeing this lovely man. I've been searching actually how to make a pact with angels and stuff. Interesting. Well, I mean, you can send me information about other things in that email, of course, as well. Okay, so send an email to grailoftheserpent@protonmail.com, and I hope to hear from a lot of you guys. Okay, I talk to you soon. Bye bye.